Over the weekend was that great, fantastic, undisputed light heavyweight contest between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol. We're going to talk about this. This was a very, very good fight. It lived up to the expectations, for me anyway. I see a few people on Twitter like Clarissa Shields talking about this didn't live up to expectations. One you. I don't care what you got to say anyway. For me, the fight was brilliant. Excellent. Very well matched. My prediction was wrong. I went with Bivol to win on points. And it was the other way around. Artur Beterbiev won on points. Now, I see a lot of people all over Twitter talking about it was a robbery and stuff like that. I don't say it's a robbery. I personally scored it for Bivol 7-2. At the same time, there were a lot of swing rounds. There were at least 3, possibly 4 swing rounds. And with that being said, 7-5 either way makes sense. A draw makes sense. It was really, really tough to call. I would have hated to be a judge ringside judging it, but if I was a judge ringside judging it, my scorecards would have said either a draw, I would have given a few rounds as 10-10 rounds, or I would have said Bivol won. But I'm not going to be salty when someone says that they saw Beterbiev won, because it was that kind of fight. The reason why I saw Bivol winning is because I believe that Bivol connected more than Beterbiev did with his shots. At the same time, Beterbiev was definitely the more aggressive fighter in there. He was the one pushing the action a lot of the time. As in, when I say pushing the action, I just mean his presence more than his punch output. Because for the first 3 to 4 rounds, Bivol was doing great movement and also had a good output where he was catching him with good jabs and some right lefts or some left rights. He would lead with the right or he would jab right. It was very good work from Bivol, keeping Beterbiev very, very cautious and unwilling to throw punches. Even like throwing with Bivol, like I see him do with other opponents, he weren't doing it. Because Bivol is a different character. He's a different fighter than all the rest of the fighters he's ever fought. This is why his knockout streak came to an end. But that's something that we'll talk about more later. As I said, first 3 to 4 rounds for me were definitely Bivol rounds. But the 4th round, even though Bivol won the majority of the round, this is where the tide kind of turned, because Beterbiev ended that round very well. And what was very clear is that Beterbiev's shots had a lot more effect on Bivol than Bivol's shots had on Beterbiev. That was very, very clear. And it was obvious that this was going to be the case because we know Beterbiev is Mr. Power Donny. He's Mr. I knock everybody out Donny. So that's cool. I don't say, okay, you have more effect of your shots, therefore you won the round. I don't do that. There's a criteria of how you judge fights. There's a specific criteria. Output, ring generalship. Ring generalship means who is controlling the ring. Who has the real estate contract in their corner? Who is dominant? And to be fair to you, none of these two guys were giving up any real estate in there. It was very much all in the middle of the ring for the first 4 rounds at least. Because in round 5, I've now seen Beterbiev start to actually put the hammer down. He starts putting the hammer down, and while he's getting his power shots off, Bivol is now got the earmuffs on. He's got the earmuffs on, he's got the gloves high and the elbows tucked. And most of Beterbiev's shots are landing on the gloves or landing on the elbows. And this is another criteria of scoring a fight. Your defense as well. This is another criteria. Bivol had very good defense. But then power shots from Beterbiev, head and body, were just kind of devastating. They were starting to break him down. And in the 6th round, even though it was very competitive and it was a very good round, Beterbiev edged that round as well. This is all my opinion. This is how I'm judging the fight, okay? But even going back to round 3, round 3 was a competitive round, but I edged it to Bivol. Now, this is a round, especially round 3, that was I considered to be quite an even round. So this is a round that could have been edged to Beterbiev. And also the 4th round, which I gave to Bivol, the way Beterbiev ended, it could have been edged over to Beterbiev. Because the thing is about boxing, sometimes you may forget what happened early on in the round when someone's getting pummeled at the end for a good 35 seconds, 45 seconds to a minute. And you're thinking to yourself, whoa, this guy's winning this round. But for me personally, I remembered what happened earlier in the round when Bivol was basically not dominant, but had the better work rate. But that as well, as I said, the 4th round could have been swung to Beterbiev by the judges. I don't know, because I'm not going to go and look at it. They got the judges' scorecards printed out. I can't be bothered. It doesn't really matter, because the fight was really, really close. It's not controversial to me. It's just not. Even though I picked the other guy to have won with my scores, I can definitely see how another person can see Artur Beterbiev winning. It's about what you are looking at, what you consider being worthy of winning the round. As we go into round 7, I think Bivol has started to recover slightly from the onslaught, because at the end of the day, this Beterbiev guy hits hard. He hits hard. And when he starts his onslaughts and his combos, enough man's going down from these shots that he's throwing. But Bivol is riding the storm and he's not catching Bivol clean. Everything's coming off the glove, off the elbow. And as I said in round 7, Bivol now is doing some good work. His combos are nicely seen by everyone. Head, body, head, body. This is also the difference. When Bivol was catching Beterbiev, it was very much more clearer than when Beterbiev was catching Bivol. At the same time, it was getting Pikazoid. It was getting Pikazoid, because Beterbiev is now starting to put pressure and more pressure on. And round 8, for me, again, this was an even round. But because I saw Bivol end better than Beterbiev, I edged it to Bivol. Now, this is another round that could have been edged to Beterbiev. I get it. It makes sense to me. But I definitely gave Bivol round 9. Round 9 for me was all Bivol. And when I'm saying I'm giving them these rounds, you have to understand these guys are not on the ropes. They're in the middle of the ring. Jousting, shot selection, good foot movement. Bivol had his back on the ropes more than Beterbiev did, but Bivol never languished and lingered on the ropes. His foot movement and his awareness of what's going on around him got him out of them corners every single time, out of the ropes. He was never in the corner or on the ropes. He was always in the middle of the ring. Majority in the middle of the ring. But the sheer power of Beterbiev was definitely visible. Even though he wasn't damaging per se Bivol, the power was definitely visible. And into round 10, I gave that an even round as well. Because even though Beterbiev was throwing more punches, he landed less. And Bivol was doing a lot of covering up and blocking and had long periods of not throwing anything. But then when he did throw, he landed. So from what I was seeing, he landed more. This is an even round that more likely would have been swung to Beterbiev by the judges. But I could have seen how people could have given it to Bivol as well. But personally, I don't think so. I think Bivol was covering up too much in that round particular and not having any output. I'm sure that he was buzzed in there somewhere and obviously very tired. We're in the championships round now. And Beterbiev definitely took number 11. He's never been 12 rounds before, but in this 11th round, his energy levels were high. This guy's supposed to be 39 going on 40. He's fresh as a daisy in there. He's got power, he's got presence, and he has got energy. And he's going in, and he definitely takes round 11. Now, round 12, again, could have been a swing round. Both guys doing very good work. It was a swing round, and it could have gone to any one of the opponents. I particularly gave it to Bivol. But I'm not saying that you can't give that round to Beterbiev. It was a swing round. So with my scoring, I had it 5-7 in rounds to Bivol, which is fine. I'm not a judge. I don't know the whole criteria of how to judge a fight. So my opinions could be just based on lack of knowledge of how to judge. This is fine. I leave the judges to sort it out. What is definite is it deserves a rematch. But will a rematch happen? I don't know. I remember Beterbiev talking about he wants to go up to cruiserweight. So I can't see it happening because Beterbiev is 40 years old now. He's not getting any younger and he wants to achieve other things. So he's going up to cruiserweight from what he said at this moment, from what I remember. If they have the rematch, I'm definitely watching, and it will probably be a much bigger and much more successful in terms of viewership, in terms of eyes on this fight, because I know that the reports are going to go out how brilliant this fight was, because it was fantastic. But it was a boxing fan's dream, and a casual would have to be learning in this bout, because as much as it was entertaining, there were spells where you're thinking, what are they doing? What are they doing? But I can see that they're working out where they need to have their shots be put. They're working out their shot selections. It was very technical in there. It was very, very technical in there. And at the end, Beterbiev is triumphant with the scores. One judge giving it a draw, and the other two judges giving it to Beterbiev. Now, one judge gave it 7-5, one judge gave it 8-4. I think it's a bit harsh to say that Bivol only won 4 rounds. That's quite ridiculous in my opinion. But as I said, it's only my opinion. I'm not a judge. So I don't know what I'm looking for maybe. But well done, Beterbiev. Very entertaining fight. I'd love to see it again. And if you don't do it again, I will not begrudge you. All the best for your future. Bivol, no one else in this division can beat you, bruv. Nobody else in this division can talk to you. So don't worry yourself. Beterbiev's going to go up and you're then going to become champion again. I really wanted Bivol to win, yeah, because his ex-wife's been going on like, oh my days, she's been going on like a charlatan. Talking about her and her children, which are his children, are rooting for Beterbiev. She posted online saying, Beterbiev, here are a list of Bivol's injuries that he's had, so that should help. I'm like, yo, walk on with this bitter woman. I don't know the ins and outs. Something's obviously happened. Probably cheated on her or something. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. It's not my business. At the same time, I wanted Bivol to win. She's been rooting for Beterbiev. I didn't want him to win just for that reason. Well, no, that's a lie. I wanted him to win for that reason. But it's nothing to do with me. So I'm a spectator in the spectator sport, and I really, really enjoyed that fight. Well done to both combatants. Love the warrior instinct, the warrior code. Bivol made no excuses, not one excuse. He didn't give one reason in any post-match interview. They're trying to get it out of him. What did you do wrong? Do you think the judges scored it right? Do you think it was a robbery? Do you think you won? This, that, the other. Really probe him. Every time he answered with his dignity answers like, I'm a fighter, I did my job, it's not for me to judge, it's up to the judges, they scored it to Beterbiev, well done Beterbiev, I should have done better, blah, blah, blah. All his noble answers, they kept probing. And I was thinking to myself, Bivol, just tell the man them to shut up. Tell them to shut up. Hey, you man, shut up, man. If you can't ask any more questions, just shut up. I need to go my yard. That's what he should have said to them. But it's all good. Yeah? Big up, Bivol. Well done. And well done, Beterbiev. Brilliant fight. Guys, I'm going to see you in the next video. Peace.